Uh, yeah, I mean, everyone here knows all the details, so these are the same heads and deans who had met with in a meeting with Professor Periaswamy on 18th March, when he was raising the demands of, or he was proposing steps, for instance, raising the non-net fellowship of all students from 8,000 to 25,000 rupees, when he was talking about instituting the anti-discriminatory officer, when he was talking about ensuring proper representation of STs in all kinds of committees and governing bodies in the university, when he was talking against the impending decision of reducing the intake of students this coming academic year. These are the same heads and deans who had objected to all these proposals that Professor Periaswamy was trying to bring for the academic council meeting that was earlier supposed to happen on 24th March, which they tried to conduct today under such kind of brutal police presence and coercion. It is, I mean, one of the things that the heads and deans said when they were countering Professor Periaswamy's proposals on 18th about raising the non-net fellowship, was that they said that how is fellowship connected with academics? I don't need to describe how ridiculous this statement is. By now we know the true character of all these heads and deans. We know their their casteist ideas. We know their fascist ambitions. So, but what is even more ironic is that the same heads and deans in this meeting that had with this meeting that they had with this Apparao on 24th March. In that meeting, these same heads and deans, they took the decision of introducing or of entrusting the responsibility of security of this campus to CISF, Central Industrial Security Force, which is a paramilitary force. I want to ask them if fellowships have got no connection. If fellowships have no connections with the academics of students who belong to socially and economically marginalized and oppressed backgrounds, then what connection does CISF, what connection does paramilitary forces have with any kind of academics? They have to answer this to the university community. So I think it is clear who are fighting for the university here. And who are trying to destroy this university and destroy all the ideas that are supposed to lay the foundations of a university or any kind of educational institution for that matter. So similarly, I don't think it is surprising that they want to demolish the stupa, they want to demolish the Velivada. Like the list of ironies these days are becoming longer and longer, and there seems to be no end to it. These are the same people who have been raising this bogey of, raising this alarm in terms of how the VC's lodge was so-called, quote-unquote vandalized, and they don't consider when they are going to come here and destroy the stupa and they want to destroy the Velivada, that somehow does not qualify as vandalism. They are talking about public space. They are saying that this is a public space and this is an encroachment. This is the same. If you remember, the same rhetoric was used when they suspended Dalit students, when the Dalit students were thrown out of their hostels, which rightfully belonged to which they had their constitutional right, they had their fundamental right to live in these hostels. When they were being thrown out, the same rhetoric was employed. It was said that these are public spaces and they are not supposed to be in these public spaces. They are supposed to be boycotted from these public spaces. They said that these students are dangerous for the university community. They said that they don't belong here, they should stay outside, and we will give them some kind of charity in terms of they'll be allowed to continue their studies, but they cannot be part of the university. They cannot go to the administration building, they cannot go to any kind of public space, they cannot be part of any kind of public meetings, they cannot be part of any kind of political activities. So this is how they imposed this fatal decision of social boycott on these 5 Dalit students, which led to the killing ultimately of Rohith. They are again doing the same thing. They are again raising this whole idea of public space, which and they're saying that now this ghetto itself is an encroachment in their public space. So it's getting worse. Earlier they used to put people in ghettos, but now even ghettos are being ghettoized. So I don't know where this is going to get to end. It is ironical that the same people are talking about public space who are blockading this university day after day, who have destroyed all kinds of meanings behind the phrase public institution, who are blocking not just students or teachers or their family members or their friends or their lawyers or anyone who comes to visit. They're even blocking the media. They have launched unprecedented, unconstitutional attacks on the freedom of speech, on the freedom, like few days back, the journalists forum, they even issued a statement that this is an attack on the freedom of speech by the university administration. So it is extremely farcical that the same university administration is now raising this whole, excuse of a public space. These people have no idea of public. What they know is their sense of public is the idea of public that Manusmriti talks about. Their sense of public legality, their sense of public normativity, their sense of public interactions is solely guided and solely determined by Manu's laws. They have pure contempt for the Constitution of India. If it was left to them, these people would abolish the Constitution of India and make Manusmriti as the Constitution of this country. They have sheer hatred towards any notion of any kind of public. They are not the people who we will take lectures about public from. They are the enemies of the public. They are the enemies of the people of not just this university, they are the enemies of the people of this country at large. And I want to warn them today that if they lay one finger on this stupa, or if they lay one finger on this Velivada, their existence will be decimated from this country. They should hear this out. They should not push people to this extent. They should not push people to this extent for their own betterment. You should be careful. You people should be careful.